Welcome to Coffee Talk, real stories from real people. I'm your host, Kate Coffee Bacon, and every Monday we'll sit down for honest conversations about successes, failures, and the lessons we learn from both. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk.
This episode is recorded on November 14th.
Brad, this is my show. Step aside. This is my show.
I'm sorry. I forgot for a moment. Once I sit down.
I know, right? You go right into it. Welcome back to Coffee Talk. Today's conversation is probably going to look a little bit different than the listeners may be used to. Normally, we talk about people's stories, but today we're talking about something that shapes all of our story, and that is time. Brad Prendergast is here, and he wanted to kick my show off in his way, but this is Coffee Talk. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here, Brad. I have known you for a couple of years, and I've always looked up to you for your thoughtfulness, for the way that you are always present, and you always see life with a bigger lens. So I thank you for sitting down and talking to me today about time. And I am so guilty of this. One of the things that he says is we spend so much of our lives chasing the future. So when I finally have more time, when things slow down, when I finish this project, when the kids are grown, when this work thing is done, then I will be able to fill in blank. But what if the point isn't to master the time that we're in? What if it's just to experience it all? So that's kind of where I want to go today, with curiosity and honesty about how we both wrestle with that.
Came up with the title because you see 4,000 weeks, and I never thought of the concept of it, not to spoil with the book, because we are giving a little spoiler away. You have to put a little note that there's some spoilers in here. But that's where he started talking about how he asked many individuals, how long do you think the average person lives? Mm-hmm. And people were saying 50,000 weeks, 80,000 weeks, 100,000 weeks. And the answer is 4,000 weeks, which in reality isn't that long.
Right.
So it is true. Then you go back to it's and then that whole race of where are you running to? Everybody's trying to make the most of their time today for a point in the future. It's, when I get to, you can pick the thing, when I get to finish this task, when I get to make this amount of money, when I get to go to this place. As soon as you get to that other place, you're already planning on the next thing.
The next thing. Right.
So you never really stop. And it really makes you sit back and think about what you're doing. And with that, I have so many points in the book too. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm going to read. We're going to have story time. I have a couple of parts that I'm going to read, and I have some questions for you around them. The first one is in the facing finitude kind of portion. Being alive is just happenstance. Not one more day of it is guaranteed when you turn your attention instead to the fact that you are in a position to have an irritating experience in the first place. Matters are liable to look very different indeed. And he's talking about the inconveniences of life. He's talking about, for me, it's someone cuts me off in the airport, someone steps in front of me, a baby crying on an airplane, just all of the little inconveniences of life. And I love that perspective. It's a flip to realize that even an annoyance in life is a privilege. So traffic, unending deadlines, it's end of year, and I cannot count the number of deadlines that are on my calendar right now.
But I think after reading the book, it became more evident about that appreciation of the time for me. As you had mentioned, it's the rush and the stress to get things done versus appreciating what you have in front of you and what you're doing. As you even mentioned, it's that baby crying or the traffic or the such. It's appreciate the time that you have, and you can do other things while you have that time. And I always, you talk about the babies crying and stuff. I appreciate everyone's time because time to me is the currency of life, right? Yeah. Once you spend it, you don't get it back. So any moment someone spends doing something with me, whatever that may be, watching a movie, a telephone conversation, doing the podcast, is a moment they're not doing something else that they could be doing. And they don't get that time back in their life. You don't get to rewind and say, oh, I did this. I shouldn't have done it. Let me do it again. Like that, your 4,000 weeks, you took a portion of your 4,000 weeks and spent it with me.
Yeah. You know, I've said so many times a message that I've given to my kids, my family. We have 3 resources, and Berkman says that time is not a resource. But using the word resource, that's a word that people know and understand. So that kind of lands with them. But I've said we have 3 resources. We have time, money, and knowledge. If you don't have one, use the other 2 to get it. One of those is time. If you don't have time, use your money and your knowledge to get more of it. And, you know, we think we want all of these things, right? We think we want it. Again, it's that chase. You know, once I get this title, once I have this salary, then I will be able to blank. But what you find is when you're in that race and you're chasing all of those things, your time starts slipping away.
Another interesting part in talking about a book that had a good realization is how we all try to manage our limited time to get everything done. But you have to have a realization that it will never get done. Because every time you have something that you want to do, you will always want to do more. And sometimes it comes down to how do you decide what not to do? And that's how you start feeling peace about not doing it. And as I had mentioned a few moments ago, you have a finite amount of time on this life or within your life on this planet. But there's an infinite number of things to do. And I think social media and such sort of exaggerates that to a point, because now I can always see that Kate's on this wonderful vacation traveling in these mountains.
So when you think about attention as currency of your life, what is taking up the most currency for you right now? And are you happy with your answer?
That's a difficult question. I have been working and have worked at points where there's a couple factors of that, right? There's many things that bring me joy with what I'm doing. What I first had to do was step back and say, it's okay that I'm not doing that. I really enjoy photography. I really enjoy technology. I really enjoy learning AI. I really enjoy going out and going hiking.
Do you think that technology has made it harder to live with intention or just more complicated?
I think it depends on which phase of technology you're talking about. I think at some point technology makes things harder. So again, if you're talking about back at the early Bronze Age days of we invented an axe, it made things a little bit easier because you could cut trees down and build houses a little bit easier and you'd have shelter. Fast forward to today where, again, technology is being used and there's a big pressure on efficiency and everybody's saying, okay, do this, be more, technology is going to make you more efficient. Technology is going to make you do this. I think today, the way individuals are pressuring in 2025 with AI, again, I always try to say I like to go a day or so without hearing about it because the pressure and there's other things around it. There's other things that exist without it. And look at the stress and pressure it's causing on people to become more efficient. Whereas if you take, they have some of those I don't want to call them civilizations, but those communities that were untouched by technology. If you look at some of those remote areas, they're living a much happier, peaceful life because they don't have that pressure of getting things done. Therefore, my time, I become more efficient. I can get something done in 1 hour. I now need to fill those other 3 hours. What do I fill those 3 hours with? If I need to fill those 3 hours with output, it's exponential. Now I need 3 other tasks that would have taken 4 hours to fit into that 4-hour window. That's a lot of pressure. But then again, now those 4 hours each compress themselves because now instead of having 1 4-hour task, you have 3 4-hour tasks that you can do in 4 hours.
I completely agree.
We're all depressed because we're all becoming solitary. If you go back into the 50s, Siloed, thank you. That was a great show. Great book series too. No, but if you go back to even like in the 50s, houses, everyone had porches in the front.
Yeah.
Now everybody's putting their porches in the back, putting fences around their yard. This is my spot.
That's really good. I think that's the action point right now is, I said how we're spending our time. manage it the same way you would audit your finances. Audit your time. What are you doing? How are you spending it? What is enough?
That's a question to ask yourself.
Brad, thank you for unpacking this with me. This is a conversation I know we will continue to have. We talk about this every time we see each other. You have always, since I've met you, you've always had a way of seeing things differently with a calmer lens. And I think, just like what you said, slow down and start having a personal connection. And it's so important. And the more community work that I do, and specifically like in our dynamics community, the more community work that I do, I see more and more how much we really do need each other. I've had all these text message threads of groups that have popped up in like the last couple of months. And I get so excited to have that connection with these community, people in the community, even if it's, just a quick exchange or an audio message. I love an audio message. Send me because then I get to hear your voice, or send me a video message because I get to see both, hear your voice, see your face. It's important. And I am very grateful to have, the company and the leadership that I have, that is quite literally a part of my job. Being a community builder, building community is a compelling saga of my company. So I get that benefit. So I'm saying I would never give it. I would never give it up. I say Wade Tetsuka stuck with me until the end of time. So what can you do to connect? That going back, that whole idea of at the end of it all, what we spent our time with is who we are. That statement has made me put down my phone. That statement, because I don't want to get to the end of my days and the timestamp that I've spent scrolling is more than the words that I've exchanged with other people.
Thank you for joining us today on Coffee Talk. A special thanks to my guests for sharing their story, and to you, the listener, for being a part of this conversation. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a Monday morning chat. Until next time, I'm Kate Coffee Bacon, and this has been Coffee Talk.